If there's one thing I hope in life, it's that I'll sing really good and everybody will be like, damn, she's got some pipes on her. I'm just always hoping that I'm accidentally talented. That's pretty sad. I am actually not a homeowner. I don't actually have a house at all. I don't rent. I just joined this app where you can meet strangers who are looking for someone to watch their pets in their house while they're out of town. And I've had more luck on there than any other app, probably because I'm so professional and shit. I've gotten a lot of house sits on there. I've gotten enough where I'm basically just able to live like that. People will ask me about it. They're like, what's that like? Well, I love the washing machines. I love dishwashers. And I love getting to turn the thermostat at whatever I want. And they're like, and you love animals, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, and I love animals. I just thought that was a given. Obviously, they almost always follow me into the bathroom. I'll just let them. I'll show them some love while I'm sitting there on the toilet. I don't care. I've had a lot of really fat cats. Some of them I'm like, dude, y'all probably shouldn't have anyone take care of them while you're away. They could probably lose a little bit of weight. It was really important to me to have a washing machine, and I knew that had a, my own place or whatever, there was just, I wasn't gonna get a better washing machine than one in someone's house. And then I was like, you know what, it would be good to just not have to pay for anything, really. Yeah, I get asked a lot if what I do in between. Well, I just will crash somewhere. Now I have a job. I got myself a hotel room the other night. Balling out. Put it on a credit card, get some points. Southwest, free flights, say less. A lot of these people have rules. I had someone that was like, don't have any people over. And then a few paragraphs down in their guide, they go, feel free to enjoy any of the board games. I've had people that are like, well, we only want our dog drinking filtered water from the fridge in the door. This bowl took forever to fill up. I never thought I'd complain about fridge water, but if it comes out slow, we can all just drink out of the sink. I just never had one of those fridges, and I used to dream of having one, but then every one I did get to use, something was always wrong with them. It was either the water came out really slow, or the water filter needed to be changed, or the ice machine never worked. There's just always something wrong with it, or it was just broken altogether. I never saw a functioning door fridge. Every house I stay in has an amazing water situation. I mean, my favorite is this one that has a water station inside of the door. So the door has another door. There's a front door to the fridge, but when you look at it, it just looks like a normal fridge that just opens like this. But no, there's like a panel that opens, and if you drink a lot of water, it's heaven. There's a full pitcher of water, as well as one that you can put your cup up to and fill up. And then there's an ice machine that you scoop ice from, the best looking ice you've ever seen. And then this pitcher will just fill automatically. Dump the whole pitcher out, put it back in, and it'll fill up in 20 seconds. It's the best thing I've ever seen. That's probably my goal. I just want that fridge. After using that panel one, everything else just feels like peasantry. I stayed in this one house that had this beautiful fridge. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, we gotta just feel around the paneling, feel around, like it could be anywhere. Check the freezer, you never know what these new fridges are doing. It's like when you open it, it's like it dings at you, like it welcomes you, and the light just kind of fades on. It's a beautiful refrigerator. And yeah, I'm like checking around it, and there's no water thing on this refrigerator. I was really shocked. So I Googled the name of the fridge because I just couldn't believe it. And the fridge is $4,000, which I think is probably a lot. I mean, my car is worth $6,000, and it didn't have a water thing on it. I feel like that's one of those things that I would have bought online just assuming it's $4,000. It's beautiful. Why wouldn't it have that? I would have been like, no, we need to swap this out for a newer model. My fancy water was always just getting a 32 pack of Ozarka. If I was balling out at work, my dad hated getting water bottles in the house. Anytime he got them, we would just like leave them all over the house. I was pretty good about finishing mine because he would yell at me for leaving them all over the house. sucks. I got my car during COVID, and at the time I was driving my dad's big black beat up Yukon we got for our family car in like 2004. My dad loves this car. He still drives it. It has 350,000 miles on it. The other day, we were loading up my sister's suitcase in it, and we couldn't shut the trunk. It just wouldn't shut. It was just falling apart. I opened up the door handle, and the handle just fell off, and it was the driver's side one, so kind of the most important one. The whole front was just oxidized. Growing up, we had this minivan that was way worse than that truck. I just hated it so much. Did everyone have a childhood van that they just hated? There was nothing more embarrassing to me than that van, and I had to deal with it till my parents, they were going to go look at new cars, but they said there was a chance that they may come back home with the van. And I remember being like, oh man, I pray to God they get one. I even wanted to go with them, but I hated riding in the van that much. I think I'm good. Like, I don't really want to ride in the van. But I thought about going because I was so excited to get rid of the van, and I wanted to have like a say. Like, I wanted to make sure that they didn't come home with another van. We are not little children. We can open up a car door by ourselves. We don't need a car that's made for babies. So they go, and then we get a call from our dad a few hours later saying that they were in a really bad car accident. Mom's in the ICU. And I was like, oh, does that mean she's dead? And he was like, no, she's gonna be fine, but pretty critical condition. And I was like, oh. What about the van? My dad goes, the van's fine. No, my dad had a sense of humor. The van was not fine. The van was totaled. So totaled. Well, that's one way to get rid of it. I don't even have a mechanic. I don't have one that I trust. I found one guy that I trusted through AutoZone. He did work on my car so fast, and he fixed this problem for so cheap. It was like $100 for something that someone else charged me $500 for. I was like, I think I trust this dude. He didn't speak any English, so we would just text each other and like write to each other that way through Translate. And also, I've been on Duolingo, so we met up a few times. He was gonna be my guy, but then we met up and he hit on me, and then I hit him up and he just never answered. He ghosted me. I turned him down and I still got ghosted. It's the worst. So yeah, I've never been able to find a trusted mechanic. Then I found another one that I like. They were cool at first. What I thought was gonna be like a $500 fix ended up being only like $130. So I take it back to them. I was having issues with my AC. It wasn't working, and it was summer. They were like, your AC isn't going out, it's out. And I was like, how much is that? And they're like, it's gonna be like $1,000. And I go, I think I'll be okay, because I've gone through it without AC in the summer before. Like, it's not the first time I've had a terrible car. It's not gonna have AC. We're just gonna really put some hair on our chest this year. I was like, no, I can't really spend an extra $1,000 today. And he was kind of like rude about it. I was like, okay, well, I'll just give you a call next week and we can reschedule an appointment. And he was like, all right, well, yeah, get it fixed. And I just never got it fixed. And my AC has been normal ever since. So one of two things happened. Either they fixed it anyway, or they lied to me. Either way, I'm like, I'm not going back there. Too much. With the airport, I get there way too early. Some people are like, I get there 3 hours early. I'm like, bro, I'll get there 4 hours early. I get there as early as possible. You never know what's gonna happen at the airport. I just need to get through security. I need to get through security. And then I'm chilling. I've never been scared of the flight or anything. The only time I hate being on a plane is when I have to get sleep. That stresses me out so much because I won't sleep. I won't. And if I do, I wake up and my neck is like broken. I'm like, it's broke. I think it's broken. I'm like, ah. I've tried the neck pillow. No, the neck pillow doesn't do anything for me. They just don't work with my body. I don't know. I sleep weird. Like, I'll sleep in a ball. I don't understand those people at all. The ones who sleep like that without the neck pillow, they're just like, never in my life have I been able to just sit straight and sleep with balance. Like, what? No, like, they're not even falling over and they're asleep, because sometimes I'll look over at them and their mouth will be open. When I'm on a plane, I need the whole row. Like, oh, when I get the whole row. And I think the hack to trying to get the whole row to yourself, or at least a middle seat to yourself, just go all the way to the back. I like being through security. Once I'm through security, I feel like I can relax. I just know that I'm gonna make my flight at that point, because that is the most stressful for me when it comes to the airport. I never thought about a plane crash. There's just certain things that I'm just not afraid of, because I just know that the chances of it happening are really small, and they're also not in my control. That's how I feel about flying on airplanes. That's how I feel about riding on roller coasters, and those are pretty much the only two things. Now that's the only thing I am anxious about, is missing my flight. I just feel like I'm not gonna be able to handle it if I miss my flight. If it's my fault and I miss my flight, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. It's something I never want to experience. It's one thing if you miss it because of something that was out of your control, but it's another thing if you miss it because you were just like late. I like to think that given how strong I've become as a human, that I'll pull through it in a really badass way, but I don't know. I think that experience might break me. I would rather die in a plane crash than miss my flight. I've never missed a flight, but I stress on the way to the airport. I am not fun to be around when it comes to going to the airport. There's been so many times where like I'll have this amazing trip with like my sisters, and then they want to do stuff before we go to the airport. If you want to stress me out, let's do brunch in a thrift store right before I have to go to the airport. If any minor inconvenience happened or like some kind of delay, I'd be like on the verge of tears. It just stressed me out. And I think it's because it's unclear to me whether or not they will give you a refund if you miss due to like it being your fault. That's what I'm afraid. I don't want to deal with like a refund situation or anything, because what if I don't get it? So much money that just gets wasted if you miss your flight. I don't want to deal with whatever I will have to deal with if I miss this flight. For the longest time, that was the most stressful part about going to the airport. Now we gotta worry about the plane crashing. If you're one that has to like take like a bunch of Xanax or something just to get through a flight, I'm like, damn, like you're probably never flying again. Tired at 10. It's Friday night. I didn't even know it was Friday. I'm just trying to stay focused. I don't want to waste any more time. And I still waste time.